Gravity, ground reaction force, and momentum.
Momentum.
Momentum. Okay? So, how important is ground reaction force when we're looking at something such as landing from a jump? Very important. If someone doesn't do a very good job of landing from a jump, they come from here, they land, and they collapse. They don't have the ability or the strength to decelerate their body weight when that force hits the ground, and we could be setting them up for injury. So those three drivers that we need to be aware of is gravity, which is the force acting on an object. Okay? So gravity is usually measured in 1g or 9.81 meters per second. Right? So that's the force attracting you towards the earth. The ground reaction is the force supplied from the ground back up into the same line of direction and line of application in which that happens. So if you guys pop up and we do a lateral lunge versus an anterior lunge, we're going to feel the ground reaction force within the same line in which we applied it. So this becomes really important with our clients and really exciting because every time they take a stride, they step forward and come back, we know that when they plant their foot in the lunge pattern into the ground, they're going to get the exact opposite reaction into the ground to help drive them back. Lunge is a perfect example for demonstrating ground reaction force. If we go in the opposite direction, when I step and plant my foot into the ground, I'm going to get the exact opposite reaction that I loaded into. So you guys have heard Gary Gray and Michelle Delacourt talk about load to unload. This is a perfect example of demonstrating ground reaction forces with the lunge pattern. What I found that's super effective in teaching ground reaction force is using a foam roller. Okay? And we just have them, like you guys have done with the Vipers, I imagine, just have them tilt it from side to side and feel how much load they need into it. If we have a low amount of mass and we go for very short range of motion, or a small range of motion, so our initial range of motion here, how much force is going through the body there? Not too much, right? So less, more. Less, more. So the more I head in that direction, the greater the amount of force. So that person's body weight could be enough mass when we take it through a greater range of motion than to just do a short range of motion with a great mass. So here's another way of doing it. You've got a body bar. With my body bar, I just take a stride the same distance because I got a little bit more mass to it. So this is a 5 kilo, or that'd be about 10 pounds for you Americans. Did you get that? When we drive from side to side, we're going to get a completely different same line of application, same ground reactive force, but the ground reactive force is going to be a little bit greater because we have to decelerate a little bit more mass. We all on the same page there? Yep. Cool. So what's the definition of momentum then? Anyone? See if we can do kind of a practical example of momentum. So momentum is mass times velocity. Okay? So just like we said with inertia, an object is going to want to stay at the same rate and want to continue to stay on that path unless another force acts upon it to change it.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
How much momentum is involved in this? Not very much, but if we load to unload, and match the force and the ground reaction with that drill, then we've added a little bit more momentum.
Cool.
So that's what's so powerful about those three primary drivers and things we need to think about. The kettlebell is such a great tool for demonstrating momentum and teaching momentum for people, because really the weight doesn't work for them. Right? Gravity is pushing it down, and it's pulling us back into that pattern that will allow us to get the desired effect that we want with momentum. How much do that one? Okay. So when we turn the lights back on, we'll go through a couple other drills for you. Biomechanics is really exciting, I know. Okay, so if we do a deadlift, you guys want to get up? You got something you can deadlift there? I see a bar in the background.
Good one.
Hey, John, demonstrate the deadlift.
Do